So this little video about how we use Google Ads at Weld. First I'll need to log into our system. We use Google for this. It's hooked up with Auth0, so that's pretty standardized. Once you have entered Weld, you can set up a connection between Weld and Google Ads. We're basically using Google Ads as a source for our ELT tool. Here I will select Google Ads, then I will type in the name for it. Just call it Google Ads Testing and authorize it. Then I will select my account, and then you will see the login screen for Google Ads. We are only asking for the one Google Ads that there is. Manage your AdWords account. We are actually not managing anything, but unfortunately there's not a less restrictive scope. And that is also why we need to go through this process. We're linking to our pages about privacy policy and terms of service as well. And yeah, you can see the login URL up here. Once I press allow, we'll be taken back to the app, and you can now see that I can select Google Ads Testing as a connection. Right now there's no sync set up. That's the next thing I'll show is how to set up a synchronization. We will select the Google Ads Testing that we just used. Then you get a selection of the ad account. I only have one ad account, so I'll select Weld Broad. That's our own ad account. And then you have a selection of the different reports that we can synchronize, and I'll just select all of them. This is running on the REST API and using the search select statements that is directed by the documentation. And all the performance reports, they are also just one-to-one copies of how the reports are defined inside of Google Ads documentation. Next thing is you can set up how often this should happen, every hour, and then I'll just set it to the 1st of January 2021. So we're syncing 1 year with data. Then you have a possibility of either exclude columns or hash columns. This is used for sensitive information if you want to remove something that other people shouldn't see or that shouldn't go into your data warehouse. Then I'll create the sync. In this case, my data warehouse is set up to be BigQuery, but that could also be Postgres, Snowflake, Redshift, whatever the customer basically has. We connect to the other one as well. Then I can press start sync, and then I will start syncing. I already ran one of these just for the sake of it and saving time in this video. Here you can see that we have been synchronizing information from Google Ads, and we are synchronizing campaign performance, account performance. We're doing an incremental sync. That means that since last time we have been looking, the first thing we will do is run a historical sync that goes all the way back, and then from then on we will basically only sync the data from 1 day ago to save bandwidth and also cut cost on our end. And once this has been synchronized, all the data will be removed from our cluster. It's basically only in flight. And once it has landed in the data warehouse, we no longer can access the data, and then it's owned by the customer completely. And that was a little introduction to how Google Ads is used at Weld.